Something I wanted to start off with is it does seem interesting. I think we can all kind of collectively feel that in the last week or so, sometimes America does things that shock the entire world. Now thank you. I have a story that takes place here in Germany, perhaps on the most German soil of all, the Oktoberfest, where an American truly did the unthinkable. A few years ago, I was hired by a company to go and see if I could host 3 American business people at the Oktoberfest for an evening. I was informed we could order whatever we wanted. It would all be paid for by the company. And hey, Wiesen's expensive. All I have to do is hang out with 3 Americans at one of the most fun places in all of Germany, and it's for free? Didn't take much convincing, I'll admit. So, I ran home. I got on my finest lederhosen. I told the group where to meet, and when we finally found each other, I was then introduced to the 2 main business owners of this company. It was a lovely couple in their mid-60s named Tom and Angie. With them was their assistant, a woman in her 40s named Samantha. Now, at first, everything was running very smoothly. Right? Like I was popping out all the stops, okay? I wanted to blow their mind with things that they've never seen before. Oh, Batsta, pretzels the size of your head, canoodle, whatever that is. We got a whole plate of them. And, of course, we also had to get what everyone goes to Oktoberfest for. That tasty, crispy, oh so precious, overpriced beer. Now, I'm not hosting a fraternity. There's no intention on my side to get hammered, but I see that pretty early on into this dinner, Samantha has finished her full mass in record time. Now, I'm on the clock, so what do? I order the lady another one, of course. This was a mistake. She knocks out another half mass quite quickly and then asks to go to the bathroom. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is where things get interesting. I point out one of those, white-walled, pay a lady with a coin temporary bathroom setups they have at the Oktoberfest, and she leaves the table. She tries to get around this table of big guys, but she can't fit, right? So she decides to hop up on a beer bench, like a Bierbank. And she starts to tightrope it, like those hippies at the riverside. And she eats shit. She face plants into the pavement, shattering her glasses and her face. And it was a scene. Apparently everybody saw it. I ran over, the security guy ran over, the toilet lady ran over. I roll her over like she's just been shot. And I can see that the glass shards have gashed her eye socket. So she's bleeding down her face. The security guy says, "You got to get her to the emergency tents now." And so me and her 2 65-year-old bosses peeled her off the street and took her over to the emergency tent where the officials took her in but said she has to come in alone. So there we are, right? Me, these 2 65-year-old American business owners, and quite the story to tell if only it stopped there. We're, thanking each other for a lovely evening. Things seem to be winding down. I'm thinking about which direction to point them in so they can get back to their hotel. And this is where Samantha shows back up. She's donning an eye patch like a drugstore pirate, blood splotches and all. And we check on her. We talk to her. How are you? Oh, my God, is everything okay? Whatever. Everything's fine. And now, just as we're going into that, thanks for coming handshake, Samantha pipes up. She says, Wait, there's one more thing I have to do. Now, I can tell from the look on her boss's faces that they did not see that question coming. I'm still on the clock. So I say, yeah, sure, of course. Did you want to get one of those big like Oktoberfest cookie hearts? Or maybe one of those taxidermied turkey hats that clap on your head? If only it were that easy. She, in this moment, goes from being, some drunk lady that smashed her face at Oktoberfest to the craziest person who has ever lived. She says, there's one more thing I have to do. And she reaches into her bag. I can't believe this is true. She reaches into her bag and starts to reveal what looks to me like a large glass jar. And she says, I promised my husband, I'm going to milk this for a second here. She says, I promised my husband, God rest his soul, that I would spread his ashes at Oktoberfest. I can tell immediately that her bosses did not know that she had that with her, which means that she had to have snuck this jar of human remains through the TSA, into every taxi, into every hotel, meanwhile thinking, this is going to be such a lovely experience for me as well as everyone involved. It's in a pickle jar, a double XL pickle jar. That says so much about this woman to me. Human remains often come in a sealed plastic bag, which are then placed inside some sort of, commemorative, beautiful ceramic urn. How long was this plan in motion? Did she just go to Walmart one day, buy a double XL size jar of pickles, think to herself, Carl is gonna love this, and then cut the bag and pour the man she once loved into a hopefully cleaned and dried pickle jar? Obviously, all of our jaws are on the floor at this request, but I am on the clock. So my response is, should we find a spot? So then now we're marching through Oktoberfest with them following me because I've signed up for an evening that I wish I had never signed up for. I find some quieter part of the festival behind one of the main tents, and I find a grassy area, and I say, maybe here? And she goes, no, actually, I want it over in this spot under the street lights so that we can take better pictures. The spot that she has pointed out is just in the middle of pavement. Rain, piss, cigarette, beer-splattered pavement. There is a man right over here on all fours vomiting his soul to the devil. And I'm pretty sure there was a couple back here having sex in the bushes because I saw ass cheeks popping in and out of view, okay? Carl is going to haunt this woman for what she did. She hands her phone to me because I have the luxury of taking the photos. And the rest happens in slow motion in my memory. She takes out the dill pickle jar, unscrews the tin lid, spreads her arms out wide, and goes, are you ready? Lady, I have never been less ready for anything in my entire life. But I am rapid snapping photos just as fast as I possibly can, while she takes that jar of ashes and begins to violently whip it all around her head, psychotically laugh crying at full volume, oh, Carl! Ashes are going everywhere, into the rain, into the vomit, into a couple of open beers from some nearby Australian guys. It is an image that has scarred me and will scar me until the end of my days, okay? She calms down, she catches her breath, she puts everything away, and then they go home. And from what I understand, after what I can only imagine to be the world's most uncomfortable trip back to the United States, Samantha was later let go from the company, but I'm not quite sure why. But still, since then, every Oktoberfest, whenever I see one of those drunk Bavarian guys with his lederhosen around his ankles just peeing in circles on the pavement somewhere, I always think, maybe, just maybe, he hit a little piece of Carl. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you had fun. I'm Jordan Prince.